Hi everybody, this is Brendan from Lemplates, and in this video I'm going to walk you through how to use Heflo for business processes, specifically how teams model, document, and align on processes using BPMN. This is a practical walkthrough, not theory heavy, so you can see how this actually works inside a real tool. So what is BPMN? Before touching the tool, let's quickly clarify what this actually means. BPMN stands for Business Process Model and Notation. That is a standard visual language for processes. It uses symbols instead of long documents. Therefore, the goal of BPMN isn't complexity, it's shared understanding. Everyone from ops to management can look at the same diagram and understand what happens, in what order, and who is responsible. Common elements contained in a BPMN are start events, tasks, gateways, and end events. Airflow is built specifically around making BPMN usable without turning it into a technical exercise. All right, so we're in Heflo itself, and let's create a new process. There's a button there, we say new diagram. We can either create from scratch or import or create using artificial intelligence, but let's start from scratch. I'm going to select the BPMN, and let's call this one video edit. All right, so in here you'll see the view that I have of my entire diagram. I can zoom in or out, but for now let's make it big. So what Heflo does well here is removing friction. You're not forced into advanced settings. You start clean and you build forward. We will select the start and pop it down there. Brilliant. From here, we will select the next step. Let's go there. And then we can make little notes. Let's say condition one as an example. Fantastic. From here further onwards, we can select that option there. And from here, we will select the second condition there. And so on and so forth. There we go, we've got a nice view. So this simple layout makes the information accessible even to non-technical teams. So these are basic steps that we've added to connect the actual flow. Steps can be adjusted, notes put on it. And we can even tie in documents to the different steps. So these are quite useful, not just for writing paragraphs, but actually visualizing reality. Like quite useful for processes like onboarding, approvals, or handoffs. And that immediately makes it clear when you see it laid out like this. Heflo keeps business process, model, and notations strict enough to stay standardized, but flexible enough that teams don't feel blocked. One of the most useful parts of Heflo is also the documentation view. Each step can have documentation tied to that step. And if we go to the view button, this is the diagram we're currently on. You can go for artificial intelligence, either web links, different process fields. You can assign participants, or even message templates and reports. This is actually where diagrams can turn into usable references. So instead of separate SOP documents, your diagram becomes the documentation. This reduces confusion and prevents outdated instructions floating around in different tools. And that is really why teams like to use Airflow. By assigning new team members to it, you have cross-team alignment. It's great for onboarding new hires, and it's fantastic at reducing handoff errors. All in all, making responsibilities explicit. And everybody sees the same version of the truth. For context, this is how we do this in Lemplates, which is the tool we use ourselves. While Heflo is excellent for BPMN, Lemplates approaches this from a slightly different angle. There's a less focus on formal notation, and more focus on actual usable execution. Steps laid out clearly, you can assign steps to people, and you can even put in notes. And simple check item by item. The process is tied directly into actions and outputs. Instead of modeling for documentation first, Lemplates is designed around what people need to do next. Both tools solve clarity. They just start from different assumptions. If your team needs standardized BPMN diagrams with clean documentation, Heflo does that extremely well. If your priority is turning processes into day-to-day execution systems, then that's where Lemplates fits in. The complementary models, not direct replacements. If you want to see this approach in full, Lemplates is linked below.